Hello my love. So in today's video we're going to be starting a reading vlog. I'm trying to get through my February TBR, which is very ambitious. I think I've got 7 books which I picked out in my TBR prompt picks my February TBR. So what I'm thinking is we're going to do number generator picks my next read, and that way of course I'm going to pick from my February TBR and hopefully I will get through it, stop me mood reading and can actually focus on my TBR. So these are all of the books that I have. The only one that has been added is Collide, because I have a book club over on the Fable app and we picked Collide for our February book, so that's been added to the TBR. I'm also currently reading, I don't know if you can see it down here, Kingdom of Claw, which is the second book to the Road of Bones. So I'm low-key hoping that's what I'll get now, because of course I'm currently reading it. It will just make it easier for me to do this video with a book that I'm already reading, but it's fine. I'm going to number generate 1 to 7 and we'll see what it picks. 1 to 7. Generate. Shut up. No way. It picked 6, which, hold on, let me double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It actually picked the book that I'm currently reading. No, what a coincidence. Oh my god, that is so cool. So I'm currently reading Kingdom of Claw and I'm actually 170 pages in, so I do have some thoughts for you already. I am enjoying this. It's a bit slower of a pace than the first book, however, because I already know these characters and I'm invested in the plot and the world, I don't mind. It's also a lot more of a political fantasy than the first book. It's not so heavy on the romance, but I feel like the first book wasn't, well, it was kind of 50-50 in the first book, whereas this one there's hardly any romance so far, but I prefer it because I am more of a fantasy reader than a romance reader. All I need is it's not inkling, is it? Like a tipple, a little tipple of romance and I'm happy, and I'm definitely getting a little tipple not only from our main character, but there's also a side character that is having a little romance as well. So between the looks and the banter between both couples, I'm living, but I'm also very much invested in the world. They have people called Galdra who are magic wielders in this world, and they are being hunted by the king. The king overthrew the previous rulers and he was told that he would be killed by a Galdra, so he's just been hunting Galdra basically. And what else can I say that's not a spoiler? Because it's the second book in a series, there's not much I can say. All I can say is I'm enjoying the little nuggets of romance that we're getting, but I'm definitely enjoying the plotting and political fantasy of it all. One of our characters are kind of stagnant right now, but they're kind of in training, so I guess it's fine, especially because the other characters are making up for it with their storyline. So yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. It's going good. I will continue reading and I guess I will update you guys. I honestly can't believe my luck. I finished A Kingdom of Claw and I loved it. Gave it 4.5 stars. I enjoyed this more than the first book. This is my type of fantasy romance where it's heavy on the fantasy, heavy on the political plotting. The character work was amazing. I was invested in the story and I feel like this was plotted perfectly. Like there's another POV in this story that we didn't get in the first book and it just honestly took the lead in this book. It kind of made the main character's story a bit stagnant and a bit dry because that was so fast paced. I still enjoyed Scylla's POV, but the other POV was really giving the plot, like it was really moving the story forward. So every time I got to like Scylla's chapters, I was like, oh, okay, here goes the pace, you know, it's gonna slow down a bit. But when we went back to the other POV, I was eating it up. Like I absolutely love, I can't say who or what it is, but love the other POV that we got in this story. The door's closed and I'm not getting up. My cat. Cats, they're honestly like kids, I swear. He decided he was done sunbathing on the windowsill, so wanted to leave, had to go open the door. But anyway, where was I? I would say this is a fantasy romance for people that are fantasy readers, and the romance is very much a subplot. It's very much a secondary plot in the book. The only downside to this book was that we didn't get more of the found family or the characters that we saw in the first book. Instead, what the author decided to do was build a whole new second found family, which I thought was really brave. It was done well. I did like these characters more than the characters in the first book, but it just felt like a bit of an odd choice because I was really looking forward to getting to know more about the first set of characters that we was with in the first book, but she decided to go with all new characters, which I guess was necessary for where they had gone. Honestly, I can't fault this book. The story, everything about it was amazing, and I can't wait for book 3. Like, I'm a bit upset that this has only just come out and I'm gonna have to probably wait like a year before the next book, because the ending, I just don't see where are we gonna go from here? How are we gonna fix this? Loved it, highly recommend. Let's pick our next book. I'm a bit scared because I am in a certain mood and I'm not in the mood for Guild. I just feel like I can't do it. Also, I've added a love song for Ricky Wilde by Tia Williams because I'm actually going to an event to meet her on Wednesday, so I'm really hoping to read that before I go to that event. But how likely is it that I'm gonna get number 6 again? I doubt it. The only one that I really don't want is Guild, but let's do it. Okay, I'm gonna screen record number 1 to 7, generate. 5. Why? I feel like I jinxed myself. Why did I say I didn't want Guild? Oh no. Out of all of these books, I only didn't want one, and it's the one that I got, of course. I just don't have time to read this right now. Honestly, I need to read Collide for my February book club. I need to read Tia Williams before I meet her on Wednesday. I just don't have time for this. I think it's so funny I'm saying that because if it would have picked this, I would have had time. I would have had time. I just think I'm not excited for this story, and it doesn't help that it got picked because it's my lowest rated book on my TBR, so it's just not motivating me, but I need to hype myself up. I might love it, you know? It is Friday and I'm not meeting Tia Williams until Wednesday, so I can bang this out this weekend, and then hopefully Monday I can pick Tia Williams if the fates are on my side. I also need to add Deep End to my TBR actually, because me and a couple of my book girlies said we're gonna read this in February together, so I need to add this. Another one to my very ambitious TBR, but I do want to get to this, and I feel like this is going to be a really quick, easy read. So that will be in our next picking. It's The Arrogance of Men to Think So Little of Women, and it will be their downfall. Okay, I could be down. Okay, let's get reading. I feel like I'm always wearing this jumper. It's just such good quality and I just love wearing it. Shout out to Emmy. Okay, wait, hear me out. I take back everything I said about this book and how I was dreading it and all of that. I had so much fun with this. I gave it 4 stars or 3.75 stars. Like, it's definitely a setup book. It's preparing you for the rest of the series. There's no real romance in this book, but I was still engaged. Like, it's dark, very dark actually. Check your trigger warnings because there's some scenes in here that's a bit scary, but I was gripped and I was so intrigued by the world and then the plot twist at the end. I mean, it wasn't a major plot twist, but I like where the story is leading. I low-key want to drop my whole TBR and just read the second book, because now that I've read this, I was speaking to my friend Emmy and my friend Sam, who have both read the series, and they said that the second and third books are the best in the series. So I just want to read it. I need to know what's happening. I just think it's so funny that I was dreading this book and yet I had such a good time with it. Funny enough, I haven't been spoiled for this series. I know absolutely nothing about this series, which made it all the more fun. And I honestly can't believe I'm sitting here eating my words, but guys, I'm so glad I read this book. Maybe the TBR knows what it's doing. I don't know, but I needed this right now. I needed like a fun romantasy, and this ticked that box for me. It was really fast to read. Like the writing's really big, the chapters are really short. Let me know if you've read this series. No spoilers, please, but let me know, did you enjoy this series? I've heard books 4 and 5 are not as good, but I want to get to books 2 and 3. Now, while I was away, I did read 7 Days, a love song for Ricky Wilde by Tia Williams, because I told you I'm going to the event. It's actually tomorrow now. Is it Tuesday? Yes, it is Tuesday. So I'm going to the event tomorrow, so I needed to get that read. I couldn't leave it up to chance. So that is off the TBR. However, we do have a new addition to the TBR because, you know, never ending. My audiobook hold from Libby decided to come through for best hex ever. So this has now been added to the TBR. For every book I read, another one gets added. This TBR's never ending. So out of this stack, there are 2 that I really need to get to ASAP, and that is Deep End, because a couple of my bookish friends and me were buddy reading it, and also Collide is a must because it's part of my book club. So we're just gonna pull up the number generator again. I have this feeling that I'm gonna get number 3. What is number 3? Oh God, Of War and Ruin. Should I move? Let me move Collide, because I don't know why, I just have this gut feeling that I'm gonna get number 3. I'm doing a little rejig here. I don't know if that's cheating, but hey, it's my video. I make the rules. It's screen recording. 1, 2, 7. Generate. No. Guys, at this point, I feel like I'm psychic. Like, I had a feeling. Oh my God, I'm so glad I moved that around, because it would have been Of War and Ruin. I can't believe this. I've got like the magic touch, or my phone is listening to me. One of the two, because I didn't want Guild. I got Guild. I felt like it was going to be 3. I literally dreamt of it, and I was like, my next book's going to be 3. It's 3. Oh yeah, I wanted it to be Kingdom of Claw because I was already reading it, and it was Kingdom of Claw. Now this luck is a bit scary. We are going to be reading Collide. I've heard such good things about this author and this book, and like I said, it is my book club pick for this month, so I definitely am glad that I'm getting to this. I do have Spiral, which is the second book in this, you know, interconnected series, and I do want to read that soon because my friend Tia absolutely loves this series, but she loves Spiral, so she sold me on reading that. So yeah, I need to read this first. I'm honestly flabbergasted. I just want to sit and stare at a wall. How did I know that? I'm sorry if you think it's cheating that I swapped it around, but I just had a feeling. You know, your gut knows, and my gut knew it was going to be 3, so I just had to. Yeah, we're going to do Collide. I will let you know my thoughts when I've finished it. Okay, so I finished Collide by Balcabra and I gave it 3 stars. I feel like it was an enjoyable read. I had fun with it. I absolutely loved Aiden. He was a man on his knees. He was a boy obsessed. He knew what he wanted and he went for it, even if she was a bit rocky. Summer, I think her name is. Yeah, Summer was a point of contention for me. She was a little bit annoying just because she was so flip-floppy. Do you know what I mean? And I guess it was maybe her daddy issues that made her that way, but it just felt like, come on girl, you can see he's so into you. What do you mean? So she was holding up the story for me. Like, I just prefer, when I read a romance, I want them to be in love 90% of the time. Do you know what I mean? Like, or building towards love. Not this like friends with benefits situation, which I feel like always happens in these books. I want cheeky little smiles, cheeky touches, you know what I mean? That just build, and obviously banter and conversations that build the relationship. I'm making it sound like I didn't like this book. I did enjoy the book. Mostly for Aiden. I feel like 5 stars for Aiden. He is the ultimate college book boyfriend. Like, if you're in that age range, which I'm definitely not. So not my book boyfriend, but someone's book boyfriend. She was definitely giving the girl from Icebreaker, like little bit mean, little bit grumpy. He's definitely the sunshine in the relationship. And it doesn't help that after I read this, I read Deep End by Ali Hazelwood, which is also a sports college romance, but they felt so much older. They weren't always at parties and they weren't part of this massive friendship group. It wasn't overly done, whereas in this book I do feel like the college element was overly done, which I think would be perfect for, you know, 21-year-olds, 20-year-olds, around that age. But me and my, I'm not gonna say how old I am, but me and my age is just not what I'm into anymore. Still excited to read the second book, Spiral, and there are some side characters in here that I really enjoyed, like, what was his name? Kian was really fun. He was like a fun, goofy guy. I feel like I just get very overwhelmed with the amount of characters in college romances. There's just so many side characters because he has a big group of friends and she has friends, and it's just like, this is too much for me. So that was the final book in our random number generator picks my reads. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I definitely had a fun time filming it, especially with all of my good luck that I got. Did we succeed in getting down my February TBR? We did. Yeah, I've still got 5 books on my February TBR. 4 of them are from my original February TBR, so that means I only managed to get to 3 out of the 7 this month, which is not that great. I mean, the month is not over, however I am planning to mood read for the rest of the month, so I doubt I will get to these. I'm not sure. Of War and Ruin and Heavenly Bodies are definitely calling my name. I'm currently reading Silver Elite, which is like a dystopian romance that comes out in May, and I'm having such a good time with that right now, so that will probably take me through the rest of the month, so I don't see myself getting to these, unfortunately, but maybe next month, we shall see. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching if you're still here, and I will see you in my next one. Take care. Bye.